Hey HEMA folks, this is Phil Swift here, and we got a special video series for you today. This is my first time doing a video interview. Actually, I got inspired by the HEMA dad to do this because he actually just recently interviewed me, and I thought it was a fantastic idea. If you'd like to see the interview, check out his channel, the HEMA dad. And if you subscribe to him, you'll get the notification as soon as the video is out. Now, I thought this was a brilliant idea because it kind of gets the viewers a chance to get to know HEMA YouTubers and fencers a little bit better. So I definitely have a treat for everybody today. I've actually been a huge fan of him. In my opinion, he's probably one of the best longsword fencer analysts out there. So with over 1K subscribers, welcome to Turul HEMA, or otherwise known as Cody. How's it going, buddy?
It's going pretty good. Pretty cool to be interviewed first time I've ever had to do that. That wasn't for a job. But yeah, it's going to be kind of interesting.
It's awesome to hear. So for someone who does an amazing job analyzing all the top tier longsword fencers out there like Martian Fabian, Axel Petterson, even Arto Fama, which is like one of my favorites. Little is like, I feel like there's little information is out there about yourself. So I feel like this is the perfect opportunity to get to know you more as a person, as a HEMA fencer. So I think your fans would love that too as well. So I'm gonna start off with asking you a few questions. When did you start HEMA and how did you get into it?
So I started just about 4 years ago, February 2016. I learned about HEMA through a Metatron video. He just kind of mentioned it offhandedly, and that night I just started Googling and I found a club nearby, and I've been going once, twice every week since.
Okay, so are you like running your own club now, or are you still at that club currently?
So I've been running my own club for about a month now. I only have about 6 students that show up. We practice about 3 hours every week on Saturday. I kind of quit my old club for a whole bunch of reasons.
So let me guess, is he like a Myris? Is it, or Mayorist? Is that what it is, or?
I don't know. Mostly, I'd say he's really into the Zettel. Uh, I'm not really sure if he's focused on one specific thing. It's mostly like the German tradition, though.
How's it like starting your own club and all? Like it must be pretty tough. I know firsthand myself, coming here to Newfoundland. Basically, no one ever heard of HEMA here at all. So that must have been pretty difficult for you, eh?
Yeah, it still is. There's a lot I don't know. I'm trying to think of new, making a video to try to advertise, get new people. Right now, the only people I have in my club are from the old club. Really need to find a way to get some new blood. But
So at your new club, like what kind of what's the name of it, and what are you guys studying right now?
so right now, I'm just calling it Turul HEMA as nice, easy transition. And that's why in the channel right now, I'm trying to create like a Fiore curriculum, but I don't want to limit people to that. I don't want people coming in being like, oh, well, this is only what we study. My whole philosophy is to just practice what works for you and your own kind of unique body mechanics. And if Fiore helps, kind of get you to those HEMA concepts, then awesome. So I try to focus on one kind of technique or concept every week. But if someone sees something from Mile and they really want to practice that, everything is welcome.
Yeah, that's actually quite interesting. So like it seems like you came from like a German tradition at your old club, and then what got you into Fiore? It seems like usually people kind of stick to what they originally learn, right? So that's quite. what made you go become a Fiorist? You know, what made you join the dark side?
Oh, yeah, see, I don't know why so much Fiore hate. Um, I think it was a couple different reasons. I think when I was brand new, um, just kind of hand-to-hand combat, I already had a background in. So when you gave me a sword, I would just swing, make a cover, and jump into that close game and start throwing pommel strikes. So it kind of came to me naturally. Uh, but the second thing is because everyone in the club was so focused on binding that they would throw kind of that right overhow, and then they would just wait for the bind. So if you would beat the sword away or you would just disengage, they'd be stuck there just waiting for the bind. So they'd just stick their hands out in front of them. So I'd just disengage and smack them in the hand. I just like either pommel striking or beating the sword away, and that kind of it's like the core concepts of Fiore.
Yeah, I bet. Jeez, yeah. No, that definitely opens their hands up for hand sniping when they're just sitting out there, right? So, yeah, I can definitely see that. Do you have any other interests into other weapon forms, or is just long swords your main thing?
Well, I've been playing around with Rondel. I've been kind of using it also as a training tool, for, like how to aggressively jump into that close game, and cover that ground. So I'll just give someone a Rondel and I'll just try my best, with nothing, to kind of see that strike coming in and jump into it instead of just, kind of sniping at each other, like aggressively move in. And I think it's pretty good kind of trade off, as a learning tool. So I guess Rondel is something I've been working on, grappling kind of in general, and I'd like to get into some Sable, but
Yeah,
only.
saber, cool. Yeah, man. Like broadsword and saber, or just like cavalry saber, military saber. What's
Well, I
what's
picked up
your
a little Polish Sable, except I
Oh,
don't have a good glove for it yet. So I tried using with this really, really thin glove against someone else with a steel Sable. It just smacked me on the knuckle. So I couldn't fight for like a month. It sucked. But buy a better glove.
oh, for sure. So, uh, I was hoping you say rapier because that's it's only the best weapon out there. But plus I it'd be awesome for you to do like um your analyst videos on other top tier like rapier fencers or saber fencers. So I'm dying to see when that happens. Like I said, I've been a huge fan, man. Like some of your first videos out there actually taught me a lot about, or watching your analyst videos, it taught me a lot about tactics, man. Just like for instance, like I must have watched Martin Fabian's a review video like maybe 20-30 times just just to see what he was doing, just to understand his tactics and learn it, right? So I think that'd be awesome if you start branching out of longsword as well, and do videos for that, because I think it's also a great learning tool as well, right?
Yeah, that's really cool to hear. I'm always amazed when people tell me like they enjoy my videos, because I was just making videos to kind of supplement my own learning, because like everyone studies historical manuscripts and they're like, what did that look like? How did he fence? But then we're surrounded by people who fence really phenomenally and they don't study them. So it's like we have really good examples.
Oh, for sure, yeah. um so that actually brings me to my next question, which is what made you start your YouTube channel, and like how did you go about like being like, I want to be the guy that like analyzes all top longsword fencers? Like was it just a learning tool for you, or was there something more than that?
I guess learning tool and hobby. So again, like my old club, you know, the owner was really kind of hands off. So he gave them like 6 or 7 techniques, and that's all they practiced every week. So the first couple of months, you know, I'm learning something new every week, but after a while, it got really stagnant. So I started trying to learn, you know, through other means. And when you first start looking at manuscripts, especially on your own, it can be a little bit daunting. So I just started watching tournament footage. I made my first video. What is that? Falcons Cup. Yeah. And then I just made Martian Fabian because that was like the only big name I knew. And I was just blown away by his fencing. And I was like, I want to fence like that. And I figured, you know, the best way to do that is to study the video. And I went to my club and I was trying to tell them, no, 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 you got to check this guy out. I was like, you know, why don't I just make a video and then show them that video? And I uploaded it. Like the first month, I had like 20 views or something. You know, I didn't expect this channel to become anything at all.
I swear, yeah, I felt like you definitely had more views, but I think you took your channel down, and then did you lose your views on those videos, or?
Yeah, some scumbag. So I think what happened is when I was up, so I go to school right now, and when I was up at university, I was signed in. I had to sign into two different emails. One was my personal email I had to download something from, then I had to sign into my work email to send it. And I don't think I signed out. So they went onto my YouTube channel, deleted everything. And then when I tried changing the password, turns out that the other email I was still signed into was connected, right? So that was the recovery email. So it was a pain in the nut to try to regain control of both of those emails. And I uploaded what I had saved, but quite a few videos I just completely lost.
Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, because I was wondering why like all those videos kind of disappeared, and then you were like re-adding them on again, and I was like, oh no, like what happened?
I
Oh,
almost quit. So.
yeah. I think you need to end that guy rightly for sure. Get a pummel to the face. But I know I would definitely flip out if someone did that to me. My next question would be like, what do you have, in mind for the future for your YouTube channel, since you just rebuilt it again from scratch? What are your next projects going to be like?
Well, I got a couple things kind of on mine. I have like a little notebook full of video ideas that hopefully I'll find the time to get to. I really want to kind of keep expanding on some of the playlists I already have. Definitely like keep doing fight analysis videos. I'm getting ready to make, you know, some more double hit analysis videos, you know, making histograms and all that fun statistics. Let's see, I also have kind of, I want to cover, you know, Fiore, but also move on to other historical, you know, things and just kind of make a video series for each one of the manuscripts that can kind of go alongside, you know, highlighting different concepts. There's really a whole lot, you know, if you just talk to anyone who practices HEMA, we all get on these little side topics, you know, in the middle of practice that go on for like 20 minutes. So any one of those kind of random side topics you find yourself in can become a video.
Oh, for sure. Like that. Yeah, no, that's going to be a pretty long project. Oh man, good luck on that. No, I'll definitely be excited for that for sure. Your pasta video, your newest one, definitely hit the spot for me, man. Like that's exactly how we teach it in our school too. Granted, some of my interpretations for stances might be slightly different than yours, but it's the main message is the same. So I definitely agree with your interpretation. My last question, I guess, is who's your favorite fencer and why?
That's a tough question. I think initially it was like, you know, Fabian, like hands down. But as I've kind of continued with, you know, the fight analysis videos, everyone I've done an analysis on has done something unique, you know, that I really admire. Um, so I'd say like Fabian is still excellent fencing, but also, you know, Arto Fama, I'd say pretty close, you know, they're kind of tied. And in skill, they're just very, very different approaches to the fight.
Yeah,
That's a tough
I
one.
find I find Fabian a bit more aggressive and very burst. Be kind of like, and Arto kind of like he's more like analytical. He sort of, I guess, what he sometimes gets aggressive. Sometimes you can see it, but I feel like he's more on the defensive side. He wants to see what you want to do. He wants to see how you react, and then he forms his strategy after that.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I just find it amazing, like how many different styles there are. Like every single time I do an analysis, it's the core concepts, keep applying. It's always applicable, but everyone has a slightly different approach to the fight. So, and I don't think one is necessarily always better than the other. So, picking a favorite is really difficult.
If you had to, man, if you had to only choose one, who would it be?
I'm not as good at thrusting as Fabian, whereas I'm a little bit better at entering the close game than a lot of other people, at least in my very limited experience.
Mhm.
So my spirit pencil would be Arto Fama. But if such
Yeah,
a yeah.
yeah,
But
me too. That's I love Martin Fabian too, and he was my favorite for a very long time. But Arto just, man, that last video with him and Federico, like that was such an amazing bout. That was one of my favorite bouts, hands down.
yeah, it's very fluid.
All right, thank you for joining me on this. Huge shout out to Turul HEMA. If you don't know about him, I think you should definitely check out his channel. See his videos; they're all really, really, really good. Definitely subscribe to the channel as well. So you future.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much. This is pretty enjoyable.
For sure, man. Have a good one.
Awesome. Thanks, Harold. Bye.
Thank you.